How to store Canastra cheese. Can I leave it at room temperature, or does it need to be refrigerated? Can it be frozen to last longer? Below we bring some tips on how to store Canastra cheese, to prevent it from spoiling too quickly. Tips for storing Canastra cheese. Canastra cheese is sold fresh, semi-aged or aged. In the case of fresh Canastra, aging was only 4 days and it will still be white like a common Minas cheese. As it ages, at least 1 week of aging, it acquires a golden color and begins to harden from outside to inside. This type of cheese can be kept at room temperature so that its aging continues. If you want to let it age for longer, place the whole cheese, closed, on top of a wooden board or plate, crockery, ceramic or glass, in a cool and dry place. Place a thin cloth on top. Turn the cheese at least once a day. If whey or butter appears on the surface, it doesn't mean it has spoiled. You should wash it in running water and dry it completely with paper towel. After about 3 weeks, it will have a harder outer part and soft interior, with a strong golden color. If Canastra cheese was bought fresh refrigerated, it is not recommended to do the above process. Since it was already under refrigeration, it should be kept at the correct temperature. If Canastra cheese is not whole or if you don't want it to age longer, wrap with plastic film and leave in the refrigerator. The refrigerator interrupts the curing process. It is very important to pack well, so the cheese doesn't dry out with refrigerator air. Canastra cheese will last about 30 days in the refrigerator. When consuming, remove the piece you want and return immediately to the refrigerator. Don't leave it at room temperature. To be more flavorful, remove from refrigerator 30 minutes before consuming. After cutting Canastra cheese that was whole, the curing process accelerates rapidly and it may become hardened in the middle, and not just on the surface. Therefore, refrigeration is recommended after removing a slice, cutting it. Unless you're going to eat the cheese fast enough that it doesn't have time to harden inside. Can you freeze Canastra cheese? Those who want can freeze Canastra cheese, but it's important to highlight that it will have a slightly different texture and flavor when thawed. Therefore, only do this if you're sure you won't eat it within 30 days. Or if you're going to use the cheese only for preparing hot dishes. To freeze, take small pieces that you will use completely when removing from the freezer. Wrap very well, using plastic film or aluminum foil, making 2 or more turns. Then place inside a Ziploc-type freezer bag. This should be done to avoid burning from the cold air of the freezer. In the freezer, Canastra cheese will last 4 to 6 months. To use, move to refrigerator and leave overnight. If you want it to return to a better consistency, leave 30 minutes at room temperature before consuming. How to know it has spoiled. According to manufacturers, it is normal for Canastra cheese to develop white mold on the outside when it undergoes aging at room temperature. If this happens, you can wash it in running water and dry well with paper towel. If you have stored open cheese in the refrigerator, be careful if mold of different color appears, black, brown, gray, or you notice some type of stain inside the cheese. Mold different from what the cheese had when you bought it can be toxic. Also pay attention to the smell. Even if it gets a more intense smell with aging, when it spoils the smell is different, quite unpleasant.